Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Black. I'm your Pokegamer. In the last episode we started our way up through Twist Mountain, and today we're going to kind of do a little bit of the same. Yeah, we're also going to be talking more about Ruby, or the Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. So yeah, that'll be a thing as well. So I'm also going to mention this before we get into this. I'm kind of doing a voice narration after recording the actual thing. There is a bit of lag in this. I don't know what's up with my computer today, but yeah. So anyways, gonna kind of just cover some things that I actually would like to see implemented in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. Just because we know that there's going to be a reveal this weekend on some Japanese TV show. There's going to be actual gameplay / footage or whatever of Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, so I do kind of recommend that you keep checking Serebii on the 11th, because that's when it's going to be coming out. So I mean, there's going to be a lot of interesting things that'll be revealed, of course, but for the time being, and because I only record during the week, I'm going to cover some of the things that I'd like to personally see myself. I'm going to try and do this as fast as possible, because there's a few things that I wouldn't mind, seeing. First one's kind of minor. This would be the whole thing that HeartGold till Silver had, which was Pokemon following us around. Depending on how things actually look in the game, there's only like a few minor problems with Pokemon following us around, and that's the realistic size of something like Wailord, Kyogre, probably Groudon, Rayquaza, even like all the legendaries. They would all probably be very difficult to kind of maneuver around in the overworld. So if they were to actually implement Pokemon following us around, and that would be a problem, I can kind of see it as those Pokemon wouldn't be able to follow you around. So if you end up having them in the lead, they just wouldn't follow you around. It would maybe be another Pokemon in the party, or so you just wouldn't have anything following you around at all, which, I mean, is fine either way. But still, it would be something kind of cool to see. Kind of a useless feature though, and probably would take away from a lot of other important things. But like I said, it's kind of minor, and I really don't care if it actually gets in there, but it would be kind of interesting to see. Next one is something I'm actually kind of very interested in. I haven't actually looked into all the other gyms, so I'm not entirely sure what else you could potentially do. But considering the fact that X and Y introduced a new type of battle called Sky Battles, it'd be kind of interesting if they somehow implemented that into Winona's gym. And I mean, you have Pokemon like Electros who have Levitate that can actually participate in said battles. You have things like the Ghastly line, Ghastly Haunter, Gengar, stuff like that. So you can play a lot of interesting Pokemon, and it makes you think a little more outside the box for that gym. Gengar would be amazing because it's learnable. Again, Electros is an electric type, so it'd be able to take care of the flying types, stuff like that. But I think it'd be, again, kind of interesting if they did something like that for Winona's gym, assuming that she's not for some reason taken out. And so yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of things that I would like to see kind of done with a lot of the other gyms potentially. I haven't looked through all the gyms, but I remember reading someone say somewhere that it would be kind of cool to have Sky Battles in Winona's gym. So I think that would be kind of legit. It would just be really cool. But at the same time, it's kind of complicated and very complex. You have to use very specific Pokemon for those battles, so you may not see that actually be a thing. It would be cool though. Again, this is just kind of shit that I would actually personally like to see. This next one is kind of huge, like really huge. The Pokemon Company, or whoever, we've covered this in the last episode, in the sense that Mega Evolution is exclusive to Kalos. They've mentioned this either in-game or through the actual company itself when they were advertising the game, either before release, on release, after release, whatever. Mega Evolution is exclusive to Kalos, right? That's what we're assuming, right? Well, if that's the case, and they do somehow introduce Mega Latios and Mega Latios, as well as potentially other Megas in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, it might actually be something to, it wouldn't be too far-fetched, Pokemon pun aside, to assume that they might actually add a way to travel to the Kalos region in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. they kind of have to sound like, if they're gonna keep claiming that, you know, you have to be like the whole Mega Evolution thing is exclusive to Kalos, if they're gonna actually continue with that, they kind of need to make sure that future games have a way of incorporating the Mega Evolution, because again, Mega Evolution is exclusive to Kalos. I'm gonna keep bringing this up because everyone keeps this, or like everywhere I've seen it, like people are like, it's exclusive to Kalos, it's exclusive to Kalos. They have to somehow implement it into future games. Why would they make it exclusive to a game and then make remakes and whatnot later down the line that just say, oh nah, you can't do Mega Evolutions. So, I mean, like, that's the thing. Now, if they really want to keep the Mega Evolution thing in Kalos, the best way to do that is to make it, like for future games, is to make it so that way you can go to the Kalos region. Which means that, you know, they're probably going to have some kind of train or ship system. Considering, if I remember correctly, the home region is supposed to be like in the middle of like nowhere, like it's a giant like island type of thing. I wouldn't know. I don't know if island's the proper way to put it, but it's kind of like way out of the way, and it's kind of like you can just find it in the middle of the ocean. One of those type of things. Like it's one of those giant islands, like one of those Japanese giant islands. I think that's what it's actually based off of. Is one of those islands that Japan has. I'm not entirely sure. Could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah. So considering I don't think there's any way for a train to actually get to it unless there's like a train track that goes all the way over the ocean or something. I'm pretty sure it'll be by ship. And considering that there's the whole Slateport City thing in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald and all that, it wouldn't be, you know, that far of a stretch to just be like, okay, well, you just get on the SSN, I think that's what it was, or something like that, I can't really remember, but I'm probably thinking something else, whatever. But yeah, you get on the ship and just go right to Kalos. I mean, it's probably the easiest way to go about it. But, again, like, it's pretty big, like just saying that, oh well, we can just go to Kalos, ha 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 ha. No, it's not gonna be a likely thing. But like I said, if they want to try and keep doing this whole Kalos exclusive Mega Evolution crap, it's probably the only way they're gonna be able to do this in any future game until they get to the next generation. And God knows that I don't know how they're going to even do another generation after Generation 6, because they came out with fewer Pokemon in Generation 6, and they had to come up with Mega Evolutions to kind of make up for a lot of the missing Pokemon slots, quote unquote. So, yeah. Don't want to continue going on this point very much, though, because, you know, it's kind of unlikely. But, yeah. So, we're going to move on to the next one. This one is something that I'm pretty sure every single person watching, and anyone that's not watching, if you ask them, they would probably agree on. For the love of, like, God, bring back Double Grass. Double Grass was such an amazing thing. Don't get me wrong. Horde battles make EV training the most easy thing on the planet. You just go, okay, power items, do, and then we just, like, do 5 battles and we're done, because Pokerus is a thing. And, yeah, it's a cool story. But, Double Grass was fun and actually useful to those who like to shiny hunt. You could run around and just do it that way. You didn't have to have Sweet Scent. You didn't have to worry about it raining and not being able to use Honey or Sweet Scent. Things like that. Double Grass had a lot of merit to it. It allowed you to help or find shinies faster. It allowed you to get a good amount of experience. Things like that. And on top of that, I guess I should add into that Shaking Grass, the Bubble Spots, and the Dust Clouds. They still have kind of like shaking spots in, what's it called, in X and Y. Like if you go towards the, what the hell is it called, that one mansion where you get the Pokeflute or whatever. On the way there, there's like rustling bushes that if you walk past them, a Pokemon will show up. It's the only place in the game that I know of that you can find Unknown. Like, what? But, yeah, like bring that kind of stuff back on a wider scale. Useful stuff. It was all completely useful. Audino, you haven't really seen me battle against Audino in my LP. You haven't seen it yet, really. I have shown that you can find it, of course, but I just haven't battled it on the screen. It is an amazing Pokemon for HP EV training. On top of that, it's also really good for just getting free experience. So, I mean, I mean, of course, you know, X and Y, you have access to, you know, Cafe Luau or Restaurant Luau, I think is the actual name. But yeah, I just think that the double grass, the shaping patches, and all that should all actually be re-implemented into the game. Another one that I think a lot of people might agree on, I can't really think of any other abilities as well, but the one that came to mind is making more limited abilities available to other Pokemon. And my example ability is Gale Wings. Let's think of all the flying types that would make excellent use of Gale Wings. You have Staraptor, Pidgeot might actually see some merit, having priority on, you know, like a whole bunch of crap. It's just amazing. Stuff like that. You can do that with Braviary. Braviary, if I remember correctly, has a really good attack stat. Giving Gale Wings to it and having Brave Bird and whatnot is actually pretty good. The same, again, this more applies to Staraptor, of course, because Staraptor is by far basically the best flying type in the game, except for the fact that, you know, only one Pokemon has Gale Wings, and that's what makes it better than Staraptor. See where I'm getting at here? There are also things like Aerialate and stuff like that. Imagine Aerialate on something like Pidgeot. Return would be retarded. There's a whole bunch of other quick attack, even all of that. It would be freaking retarded. Like, what the hell? I would honestly love to have like some of these really interesting and cool abilities more available to Pokemon that could actually take full advantage of them and become more played because of it. Maybe have them as new hidden abilities or something. I don't know. But at the same time, you can't really do that because X and Y. You know, like you can't change other Pokemon's abilities, but you know, because X and Y is already a thing. But like if they can somehow do it, like make, you know, more Pokemon have the abilities, then that'd be kind of great. Plus there's also, I think there are still quite a few unreleased hidden abilities, so they might be able to do that as well. I don't know. It's just something I would like to see. Last one that I kind of want to cover, because we do only have like 3 or so minutes left. Mega Kyogre and Mega Groudon being potential things. Now, I covered this in the last episode as well. The leaked image that I had linked in the description of the last video shows that it seems like you can fuse Kyogre, Groudon, or both Kyogre and Groudon with Rayquaza. But the thing is also the box art has different like looking versions of Kyogre and Groudon as well. So you have to assume there's either Mega Kyogre and Mega Groudon, or they're fusion, or like fusions with like a whole bunch of other random shit or something. But for the sake of argument, we're gonna just assume that they're megas. On the ability thing, by the way, before I kind of, you know, continue, the answer that I wanted to answer for this, I couldn't find, so I just kind of gave the wrong answer. Just kind of spoiler, whatever. I'm almost positive it was Luxray, but I didn't have it in the thing, so whatever, I don't know. I could have been wrong with Luxray anyways, it doesn't fucking matter, whatever. Anyways, back to Mega Kyogre and Mega Groudon. Continuing off of like the whole abilities thing, I feel like if they actually do give them megas, they should be given new abilities that actually create permanent weather. Kyogre and Groudon were the first Pokemon to ever create weather outside of something like Tyranitar. I think Tyranitar was the only thing outside of that at the time. I don't really remember. Yeah, I think it was the only one at that time that actually had permanent weather, because Abomasnow was something that we got in Generation 4. So, I mean, we only had permanent sand, permanent sun, and permanent, you know, rain. And Kyogre and Groudon are both basically legendaries that created, you know, the sun and the fucking water. Like, they created the heat and the cool, so to speak. And I feel like taking away their ability to create permanent weather was kind of stupid. I mean, they're legendaries that made the ocean and all that other shit. It makes less sense to me to take away their permanent effects and punish, like, you're punishing them for the majority. Like, you're punishing people for using Ninetales and whatnot, and by association, you're punishing Kyogre and Groudon when they probably shouldn't be. They're already Uber anyways. Why does it matter? But yeah, that's kind of just, you know, something that I think would be kind of an interesting implementation as well. So, I really don't know what else we can really expect. The 11th is when we're going to see some actual footage, and yeah, I'm kind of much looking forward to that, because yeah, I really want to see what they're kind of doing. I want to see how the graphics look and all this other crap. So yeah, hopefully we can kind of cover some of the new information on Monday, and hopefully we can get started on the gym here in Icirrus City. So yeah, if you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.